If this idea doesn't click for you, you'll keep poisoning your own calm even when your life has zero real problems right now. You'll destroy your own peace without noticing. Most people hearing this think, I'm addicted to overthinking. But that's not quite right. What you're actually hooked on is the emotional rush that overthinking floods your system with. Think about it. Why do we spend hours rehearsing fights that never occur? Why replay a conversation from half a year ago? Why lie in bed, safe, warm, under blankets, and dream up worst-case disasters? If it feels awful, why do we keep doing it? Here's the truth. Your mind doesn't just generate thoughts. Those thoughts generate chemistry, real hormones, real physical changes inside you. Every idea you hold creates a matching emotional and bodily response. It never stays locked in your skull. Picture a tense argument with your partner. You imagine saying something, they fire back. It escalates. As you run that movie, your body shifts. Heart rate climbs, muscles tighten, stress hormones pump out. Your frame starts preparing for a threat that doesn't actually exist, but your nervous system doesn't know that. To your biology, the danger is completely real. Neuroscience explains this as conditioning through repetition. The core rule: repeated thoughts strengthen neural highways, making certain emotional reactions almost automatic. Neurons that fire together wire together. That's the famous phrase. So, the more you think a certain way, the easier your brain defaults to that path. Over time, constant anxiety stops feeling strange. It becomes normal. It starts to feel like home. Your childhood plays a huge role. If you grew up in an unpredictable, chaotic household, your brain may have linked closeness or love to anxiety. Going back to that imagined argument with your spouse, that fight puts your body into a familiar emotional zone with someone you care about. If your parents argued and chaos was the norm, then creating chaos in your own relationship feels natural, even when there's zero reason for it. Another example, I've coached highly successful people, CEOs, top performers, and so many of them are run by fear. Their achievements don't erase the dread. Where does that fear usually come from? They often inherited it from their parents. If one of your parents used fear to control you, instead of explaining consequences calmly, they took the easy route. Scare the kid into obedience. It's faster than teaching. And if that was your upbringing, or if your parents still text you fearful warnings, then your childhood trained you to generate fearful false futures right now. You become chemically hooked on those feelings, almost like an addict chasing a substance. You might not want fear or anxiety, but they feel normal. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to change it. Otherwise, you'll keep repeating the same loops, inventing fake scenarios just to feel that familiar dread. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Most people say they want peace, but when peace actually shows up, they don't trust it. Have you noticed? Nothing's wrong, life is okay, not amazing, not terrible, just fine. Yet your mind starts hunting for problems. What could go wrong? What am I forgetting? What if this doesn't last? Or you enter a calm relationship, no drama, and you think it's boring, too quiet. So you subconsciously create issues where none exist. Psychologists call this hypervigilance. It develops from stressful childhoods, trauma, unpredictable relationships, years of chronic stress. Your nervous system learns to scan for danger even when danger is absent. Peace feels uncertain. Calm can actually be more uncomfortable than anxiety, because anxiety is familiar. Calm, that's foreign, and the brain prefers the familiar, even if the familiar hurts. Neuroscience calls this the predictive processing model. Your brain doesn't just react to reality, it constantly builds models of what comes next. What's likely to happen? How do I prepare? For someone used to criticism, rejection, failure, or conditional love, their brain becomes hyper-tuned to those outcomes. It compulsively simulates them, trying to gain certainty about an uncertain future. The problem? Certainty never arrives, so the simulation never stops. There's a famous saying, the mind can make heaven out of hell or hell out of heaven, So many people live a perfectly good life, peaceful, comfortable, and they turn it into hell. Nothing is wrong in the present moment, yet they can't stand the contentment. Content feels foreign. Foreign feels wrong. So they generate fake scenarios because that's their comfort zone. Addicted to chaos. Addicted to the chemical cocktail of worry. You probably recognize this. You're in the shower, driving, lying in bed, and suddenly you're having a full conversation with someone who isn't there. Explaining yourself. Defending yourself. Trying to win an argument that hasn't happened. Psychologists call this anticipatory processing. Your brain believes that by rehearsing every possible outcome, you can prevent pain. But research shows the opposite. The more you mentally rehearse feared situations, the more your anxiety grows. Instead of blocking pain, you create it. And again, nothing is actually wrong. We turn a calm, peaceful day into a disaster because calm feels wrong. There's a deeper layer too. After years of overthinking, anxiety stops being an emotion. It becomes an identity. You don't just feel anxious. You believe you are an anxious person. I'm a worrier. I'm full of fear. I overthink everything. That identity gives you an illusion of control. Your mind starts thinking, if I stop worrying, something bad will happen. But has worry ever prevented anything real? Worry never stopped a single bad event. It only stole your peace. Studies on worrying show that 85% of what people worry about never happens. 12% turns out better than expected. Only 3% happens the way you feared. 3%. So how do we actually change this? How do you stop inventing fake scenarios all day? Step 1. Awareness. Most people don't even notice they're doing it. They're halfway through an imaginary argument before they realize they're arguing with nobody. So catch yourself. Ask, is this happening right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, not 6 months from now. Right now, in this second. Most of what you're stressing over exists only in your imagination. You can't change what you don't see. Step 2. Recognize what you're feeling, not what you're thinking. Don't argue with the thought. Ask, what emotion am I generating right now? Fear, anger, resentment? Once you name the emotion, you can trace it back to the thought that created it. The imagined scenario isn't the cause. Your mind's prediction of the future is. Step 3. Interrupt the pattern. When you catch yourself building a fake scenario, bring your awareness back to reality. Your body is always here in the present moment. Your mind is usually somewhere else, past or future. Use your 5 senses. What do you feel, smell, taste, touch, see? Take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the floor. Look around the room. Your body is the portal back to now. Then ask, what problem do I actually have in this exact moment? Most of the time, the answer is none. Someone might say, but I'm stressed about paying bills next week. Is that right now? No. You're ruining this moment with next week's thoughts. I'm not saying ignore your bills. I'm saying that when you calm down, you think better. When you think better, you act better. Fear makes action harder. Presence makes action clearer. Step 4. Teach your nervous system that peace is safe. This is the hardest part for most people. If you've been anxious for years, calm feels wrong, even terrifying. So, when peace arrives, don't run from it. Sit with it for a minute. 10 minutes of stillness won't make your world crumble. Remind yourself, nothing is wrong right now. This is what peace feels like. This is what safety feels like. The more time you spend there, the more familiar it becomes. Peace stops being weird. Let's be honest. Every difficult thing you've ever faced, you've already survived. You figured it out. You adapted. You'll do the same with whatever comes next. You don't need to overthink every possible future. You just need to trust yourself to handle reality when it arrives. The goal isn't to stop thinking. That's impossible. The goal is to stop suffering. And you stop suffering by not torturing yourself with thoughts about things that aren't happening now. Stop tuning your imagination to fake futures. Tune it to reality. Stop creating fear when there's nothing to fear in this moment. Peace is not dangerous. Peace isn't boring. Peace isn't suspicious. Peace is what you've been searching for all along. Next time you catch yourself imagining a fake scenario, ask, is this reality or just a movie my mind is playing? Your life is happening right now, in this present moment, not in the future that your anxiety tries to predict. Bring yourself back. Stop overthinking. Stop building fake futures. When you're truly present, your mind works properly, and you can take real steps to change your life. Thanks so much for watching Winds of Thought. If this spoke to you, hit like, share it with someone.